Hello, everybody. Welcome to NWSOFA. We are happy to have with us tonight Meaghan Murphy from Personal PAC. Meaghan is the Chief of Staff. She has been with Personal PAC now a little more than 18 months, along with Sarah Garza-Resnick. And you may also know Terry Cosgrove from Personal PAC. He is now retired, was a former CEO for 30 years. Now, Personal PAC's mission is to keep abortion safe and legal in Illinois. I am going to turn it over now to Meaghan Murphy. Go ahead, Meaghan.
Hi, thank you, Michelle. Thank you, everyone who's joined. It's really lovely to be here tonight. I am Meaghan Murphy. I'm the Chief of Staff at Personal PAC. Sounds like everyone on the call is very politically engaged, but just in case you haven't encountered our organization before, Personal PAC was founded 35 years ago by a woman named Marcy Love, who saw that Illinois at the time was one of the most anti-choice states in the country. It seems tough for someone like me to believe that now. And maybe some of you looking around at what's happening in other states, including neighboring states like Indiana and Missouri. But 35 years ago, abortion was incredibly stigmatized and even criminalized in Illinois prior to Roe. After Roe, that legal status changed, but it was still incredibly inaccessible. And so what Personal PAC has done, election cycle after election cycle, we've worked to elect pro-choice champions to every level of government. So we are a nonpartisan political action committee only working in the state of Illinois, and we find candidates, we make endorsements. We have an incredibly rigorous endorsement process. We have a very long questionnaire. We really want to know what the candidates' positions are, not just on their personal belief, but how they will vote, right? So we ask really detailed questions on every bit of policy that may come before them in whatever office they're seeking. And then also we've worked a lot on judicial races. Last cycle in 2022 was a very important year for the Illinois Supreme Court. Those are 10-year terms. And so we worked very hard to get pro-choice champions elected to that very important office. And here we are again in 2024. So we wrapped up the primaries. We are looking ahead towards the general election. And I'm really excited to tell you all about ways that you can get involved. But first, I thought I would try and share my screen just to share some information. Okay, so this is a page from the Guttmacher Institute, which is a really incredible resource for, I wouldn't say it's light reading. It's actually very in-depth, and they do a lot of great work with data analysis. So if you can scroll a little bit, Michelle, to past this first page, a little further down. Here we go. Okay. This map is something I was looking at yesterday, and it really gives you a sense of the place of Illinois and what our state means to so many people across the country. There are, of course, other very blue, very democratic, very pro-choice states like California, New York, Massachusetts. A lot of these states have worked a lot in the last 2 years to expand abortion access, especially to people that are traveling. But Illinois is in a class of its own. In 2023 alone, we had, this is an estimate, but the data shows we had over 37,000 abortions provided to out-of-state patients. And that's just far and above like the most. That's 6 times the number that New York saw. New Mexico, Florida, Kansas are actually closer to the volume that we saw in 2023. And this is for a number of reasons. First is geography. Illinois is actually Unfortunately, the closest place for many people in the South, particularly the Southeast, to drive to, Carbondale is closer drive to someone in Alabama or Mississippi than anywhere else that they could possibly get to that would provide abortion care for them. The next is O'Hare because it's often cheaper for people, even in Texas and in states where they may be geographically closer to other access states. It's cheaper for them to get on a plane and come to Chicago. And then the third reason is related to personal PAC. Our governor, our legislature, they have all worked us kind of leading that charge on the political side to pass really progressive legislation at the state level. In 2023, the January session, they passed the Patient Provider Act, which puts in place new protections for abortion providers, doctors, advanced practitioners, clinics, shielding them from the overreach of some of these states that are trying to criminalize travel. We've also passed new legislation such as the automated license plate reader bill last year, which prohibits anyone who owns, if you've ever gotten a ticket, the automated license plate readers, which some anti-abortion groups do set up outside of clinics to take pictures of people's cars and try and surveil them. That law now prevents that information from being shared with any entity that is trying to criminalize abortion. So these are a couple of examples of the work that our legislators have been up to in just the last year or so. Of course, there is a lot more to do. We're always working with our partners in Springfield on the government side and on the advocacy side. We spend a lot of time on the phone talking to people who are driving back and forth to Springfield. And I'd be happy to talk about some of the bills that we have coming up this session. But I thought I'd maybe take a pause here and see if anyone had any questions or where people are interested in leading the discussion, because I could talk at you for a while, but I'd love to hear what you're most interested in.
We love that, and we want this to be really interactive, and we are going to close the recording here, Bill, so go ahead and stop the recording, and we hope you all will join Stand With Women and all the other fine groups at NWSOFA, such as Restore Our Democracy and the Fiscal and Economics team, the Gun Violence Prevention team, and all the other fine teams at NWSOFA.org. Thank you.